Did you know that Rio de Janeiro is one of the most visited cities in the world and hides secrets that not every tourist knows about? That's right. Besides the famous Christ the Redeemer and the beaches of Copacabana and Ipanema, Rio holds wonders that go far beyond the obvious. And in today's video, I'm going to take you to explore the most incredible and unforgettable places in this wonderful city, including unmissable tips that only those who live here know. But wait, have you ever thought about how to plan your itinerary without getting into trouble? Or how to discover the hidden tourist attractions that almost no one talks about? Stay with me until the end because I'm going to share not only the most iconic places in Rio, but also golden tips that will transform your experience here into something totally unforgettable. Whether you're a first-time tourist or someone who wants to experience the most authentic side of Rio de Janeiro, this video was made for you. So, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and let's start this journey together right now. Ready to discover Rio like never before? The main beaches of Rio de Janeiro are the beaches of Rio de Janeiro. If there's something that I always recommend to friends who visit the city, it's the famous beaches of Copacabana, Ipanema and Leblon. Copacabana, with its Portuguese stone promenade and stunning views of the Copacabana fort, is pure vibrancy. I always see people playing foot volley, football players, families having fun and tourists taking selfies. The infrastructure is excellent, with kiosks offering everything from coconut water to typical dishes. It's worth stopping and trying some of the local cuisine while watching the sea come and go. Ipanema, on the other hand, is a little more sophisticated. The one I like the most. It is the place where beauty meets culture. I like walking along the beach and admiring the diversity of people, each with their own story. The famous Pedra do Arpoador is the perfect spot to enjoy the sunset. What many don't know is that Ipanema also has a good range of activities, such as yoga classes on the sand or even water sports. And, of course, you can't forget to stop by the craft fairs that take place there. And we have Leblon, which has a very special charm. It is the most karaoke beach in the sense that it is frequented by locals, which makes it a little less touristy. Here, the climate is ideal for relaxing. The view is stunning, and the proximity to Lago Rodrigo de Freitas offers even more leisure options, such as hiking and pedal boats. The infrastructure is also good, and the kiosks serve appetizers ranging from caipirinha to a variety of snacks. Walking along the boardwalk is like being part of a movie, with the sea breeze and the sound of waves in the background. Main tourist attractions in Rio. When we talk about tourism in Rio de Janeiro, we can't help but mention the icons that attract millions of visitors every year. Christ the Redeemer is, without a doubt, the most famous of them. The view from the top is breathtaking, and the feeling of being at the feet of the statue is incredible. Access can be a bit tricky, especially during peak times, so I always suggest buying tickets online and going early to avoid the endless lines. The view from Corcovado is a reward that is worth every effort. Another tourist attraction that cannot be left off the list is Sugarloaf Mountain. The cable car ride is a unique experience, and the view from the top is one of the most emblematic in the city. I am always fascinated by the beauty of Guanabara Bay. If you have the opportunity, don't forget to take a camera, because each angle is more beautiful than the last. And, again, going in the morning can mean less waiting and more tranquility. Maracana is the temple of Brazilian football. Even if you're not a fan of the sport, it's worth a visit. The stadium has a rich history and, if possible, watching a game is an unforgettable experience. For those who are just visiting, I recommend checking the times of the guided tour, which are very informative and show you all the details of the place. And, of course, there's always the chance to find a nice souvenir in the gift shop. These three tourist attractions are just the tip of the iceberg. Rio has much more to offer, but starting with them is an excellent way to get to know the city. What I always say is that the best way to explore Rio is with an open mind and a willingness to try new things. If you organize yourself well, you can visit all of these places in one day. But don't forget to set aside some time to simply relax and soak up the Rio energy. After all, the city is so vibrant that it's worth stopping and taking in what's around you. Safety tips for tourists. When it comes to exploring Rio de Janeiro, safety is a serious issue, and it's always a good idea to be prepared. One of the first pieces of advice I would give any visitor is to be extra careful in the busier areas, such as Copacabana and Ipanema. Although they are beautiful, These beaches attract a lot of people, and this can be an invitation for petty theft. Keep your valuables close to you and avoid showing them unnecessarily. A discreet and tightly closed backpack is always a good option. In addition, it's important to keep in mind that some areas of the city may be less safe, especially at night. Places such as the North Zone and some parts of the West Zone have a reputation for being troublesome. Before you go out, check updated maps or apps that indicate the areas to avoid. And if you're going to venture into these places, going in a group is always safer. Unity is strength, and being with other people can discourage any problems. Another valuable tip is to always use official transportation. Taxis and ride-hailing apps like Uber are safe and practical options for getting around the city. Avoid hitchhiking with strangers, and, if you are using public transport, try to board during peak times. Being aware of your surroundings and avoiding distractions, such as excessive cell phone use, can make all the difference. And, of course, communication is essential. Learning a few words of Portuguese can help you avoid complicated situations. Don't be shy about asking locals for directions. In general, people from Rio are receptive and willing to help. In addition, having a map downloaded on your cell phone or printed out can be an extra safety measure in case your cell phone battery runs out. Finally, trust your instincts. If something doesn't seem right, don't hesitate to change your plans. Rio has a lot to offer, but being alert is essential to making the most of the city. With these tips in mind, you will certainly have a more peaceful and enjoyable experience. After all, the city is wonderful. Lesser known but unmissable places now, if you already know the traditional tourist spots and are looking for something different. Rio de Janeiro has a lot to offer besides Copacabana and Ipanema. One of these incredible places is Lime Beach. Less crowded and quieter, the beach is perfect for those who want to relax in the shade of the kiosks and still have a beautiful view of Sugarloaf Mountain. Lime has a more family-friendly atmosphere and is ideal for those looking for a sunny day without the typical hustle and bustle of the more famous beaches. Another destination worth visiting is the Snow Cristo Fair. This is the ideal place for those who want to immerse themselves in the culture of the Northeast. With stalls selling typical foods, live music and crafts, the fair is a true cultural melting pot. You can try dishes such as the famous carne de sol and the delicious canjica, as well as enjoy live forró music. It is a space that brings the essence of Brazil and is a great place to shop and find authentic souvenirs. We can't forget Parque Lage, a true oasis in the middle of the city. Located at the foot of Corcovado Mountain, this park is perfect for those who love nature and art. With its trails, gardens and a beautiful mansion that houses an art school, Parque Lage offers a peaceful environment for a picnic or a relaxing stroll. It's a great place to escape the hustle and bustle and still enjoy the beauty of Rio's flora. Another little-known spot, but worth mentioning, is Mirante Dona Marta. Located in Botafogo, this viewpoint offers one of the most incredible views of the city, with a unique perspective of Christ the Redeemer and Guanabara Bay. Best of all, because it's less visited, you can enjoy the landscape more peacefully. It's a great place to take photos and watch the sunset. And last but not least, Pedra do Telegrafo. For adventurers, this trail is an unmissable experience. Located in Barra de Garatiba, the hike to the top is not that difficult, and the view from up there is breathtaking. The famous stone train that went viral on social media is an attraction in itself, but the real beauty lies in the surrounding nature. It is a perfect place for those who want a different and memorable experience in Rio de Janeiro. Rio de Janeiro culture. Rio de Janeiro culture is a vibrant mix of influences that go beyond Brazil's borders. From the samba that echoes through the streets during Carnival to the funk that livens up the clubs, music is an essential part of life in the city. I always find myself dancing to a good samba, whether with friends or in a bar. Music festivals, such as the famous Rock in Rio, attract thousands of people and offer an incredible opportunity to celebrate this musical diversity. And we can't forget the samba schools, which prepare all year long to shine at Marquês de Sapucaí. In addition to music, dance is another pillar of Rio de Janeiro culture. Samba de roda, for example, is a tradition that is part of the people's identity. I remember once taking a dance class in Santo Teresa. The energy was contagious. People get together to dance, and the joy is palpable. Carnival is the pinnacle of this cultural expression, where everyone becomes part of a huge party, without distinction. Visual arts also have their place in the heart of Rio. Galleries and graffiti murals in neighborhoods like Lapa and Santo Teresa retell the city's history through street art. A walk through the historic center is a true journey through time, with colonial architecture and contemporary works intertwined. This mix is a reflection of the creativity of the people of Rio, who always find ways to express their experiences and emotions. Rio de Janeiro gastronomy. When talking about food in Rio, it is impossible not to mention feijoada. This typical dish is a true symbol of Rio de Janeiro cuisine and, in my opinion, there is nothing better than a Sunday with the family enjoying a warm feijoada accompanied by orange and kale. The restaurants that serve this delicacy usually have a relaxed atmosphere, where conversation and laughter are as important as the food. And, of course, we cannot forget the caipirinha, the drink that is the face of Brazil and that perfectly accompanies any meal. Rio de Janeiro's bars and restaurants also play a fundamental role in the social life of the locals. It is common to see groups of friends getting together for a happy hour, where snacks such as codfish balls and pastel de feira are accompanied by a cold beer. These gatherings are moments of relaxation and celebration of friendship, and I always feel at home when I am in one of these places. The atmosphere is always lively, and the connection between people is palpable. It's impossible to talk about Rio's gastronomy without mentioning the city's markets. The Mercado de São Cristóvão, for example, is a must-see. I love walking around there, trying different dishes and buying fresh ingredients. It's a place that celebrates the culture of the Northeast and offers unique sensory experience. The smell of spices and the sound of live music create an atmosphere that turns every visit into a true culinary adventure. And finally, the importance of street food cannot be underestimated. Hot dog carts, churro vendors, and mate stands are part of everyday life in Rio. On a hot day, there's nothing better than sipping an ice-cold mate while walking along the waterfront. These little delights are part of the city's identity and are a way to experience the local culture in an affordable and delicious way. Hey there, travelers! Now that you've seen the main beauties of Rio de Janeiro, it's time to reflect on everything this iconic city has to offer. Have you ever stopped to think about how each beach and each tourist spot carries a unique and vibrant history? Imagine yourself enjoying a sunset at Praia do Leme, while savoring a warm acarajé. Delicious, right? But don't forget the safety tips. It's essential to be alert and prepared to enjoy everything with peace of mind. And who would have thought that there are hidden gems, like Praia do Lazaro or the charming Santo Teresa, that many tourists miss? Now, a question. Which of these places are you most curious to visit? The energy of samba in Lapa or the tranquility of Park Lage? Which will surprise you the most? The culture and cuisine of Rio are irresistible invitations to explore a more authentic side of the city. So, how about planning your next trip to Rio? Remember, every corner holds a new discovery. So, until the next adventure, and don't forget to leave a like and share your experiences in the comments.